welcome to another video and welcome to my channel if it's your first time. My name is Uli and it's great to have you here. So as you can see, I am still in this apartment. I'm still in the Airbnb. It's so frustrating. I was supposed to be here 2 weeks, but I haven't been able to look for my own place, obviously because of the lockdown. The lockdown is now so strict that we have to apply for a permit to go outside to even go get groceries or anything like that, which is super frustrating, but fingers crossed this is not going to last too much longer, and hopefully one day I'll actually start making some videos that are kind of like a bit more aesthetic and in a house that I chose the furniture. That would be nice, wouldn't it? So what am I going to talk about in this video? In this video, I thought I would give you a very sort of comprehensive update, not quite a conclusion because we're not quite there yet, of my Project Reverse. So if you haven't seen my first 2 videos about Project Reverse, about 2 months ago, after having had a sort of a long streak of not really looking after my diet or my lifestyle, my eczema was coming back in quite a big way, and I was just like, no, this is enough, and I'm gonna put some focus into this, because who wants to watch an eczema YouTuber who's got eczema themselves? No one. So that's kind of what I did. That's what Project Reverse is all about. I did another update video about a month ago, so I'm kind of doing them in a month at a time. I think that's probably quite a good interval. So firstly, I'll show you what my skin looks like. Secondly, we'll kind of go through a little bit of that sort of the spreadsheet, perhaps not in so much detail this time as I did last time, but just kind of give a bit of an overview of the things that I'm again noticing that are making my skin better or worse, and things that I'm going to be able to bring forward with me as I continue on this skin journey. So we can go through that, and perhaps some of the things there are things that you might want to think about as well. And then I'll probably also just do a bit of like a what I eat in the day in the meantime, so you guys can see exactly the changes that I've made since I arrived here in Dubai. So first of all, let's have a look at the skin. As you can see, my lips are so much better. Oh, I'm a bit hot and sweaty, which is probably why I'm getting a little bit of a red patch there, but yeah, I mean, it looks so much better, it feels so much better. I don't feel that kind of dry crustiness that I used to get all over my eyes or my lips or anything like that. My neck feels a lot better, so that's really good. Everything kind of shoulders upwards is great. Obviously I have nothing on my arms and like my legs. I haven't had that in a very long time now, so I feel like that's kind of safe, which is good. The only problem area that I still have, which is quite a big problem area, is my hand. So I have been doing things to it. It's been going up and down. I can sort of show you again when we get to the spreadsheet exactly the kind of things that have been affecting it or not affecting it. As you can see, it's much better than it has been for a long time. Before we go and get into the actual spreadsheet, I think that I'm gonna make some breakfast. So I'll show you guys what I've been having pretty much every single day. So I've been having a pretty consistent diet since I've been here. Reason being is because I keep thinking I'm gonna be moving out, so I haven't wanted to buy loads of different things. But here in front of you, you can see a bowl of whole grain porridge. I do make sure it's whole grain and not the more white refined stuff, just because this has more fiber. And then top it up with half a banana, some goji berries, and some cinnamon. Sometimes I add some flax seeds or some chia seeds, and yeah, top with some oat milk. Okay, my friends, let's see if I can actually get a grip with this bloody screen recording again. I actually don't even know how to find programs, so Mac, illiterate. Open QuickTime. If this is your first time that you didn't see my other video, basically what I've been keeping a track of every day is whether I've been plant-based, and plant-based I basically mean vegan. If I've exercised that day, if I've been having meat, if I've had eggs, dairy, sugar, alcohol, and whether my skin feels better, worse, same than it did from the day before. And then of course I've had some comments if there's anything that I feel like I should take a note of. And the reason I'm doing this is basically trying to see if there are any patterns between the things I'm doing, things I'm eating, and the way that it impacts my skin. As you can see in the week 5, lots of greens. I was feeling very focused, my skin was feeling either better or the same, and I was feeling it was noticeably getting a lot better that week. It was pretty bad when I first arrived. It got really bad when I traveled. It seems to get quite bad when I do long distance flights. So I was also getting a lot of sunshine, and I was making sure that I was firstly also going to the beach, so I was spending I could say almost like at least half an hour in the sun, and then it was also going in the ocean. So those two things I think really obviously helps your skin a lot, on top of the fact that I was very careful with my diet. Great, so that was the first week. The second week, if we just move swiftly onto the next week. This week again started pretty good. I wasn't exercising as much because that's when the lockdowns started getting a bit more severe, and I hadn't quite got the hang of these like home workouts yet. But there was a few times here where it said it started getting worse, even if I was very good that day. So this is quite interesting. If I eat a lot of fruit, I seem to get quite itchy. It's just linked to your blood sugar levels. I think if you eat fruit and you don't have anything to kind of stabilize your blood sugar levels, like if you don't eat it with or something that has like quite a low GI, that's going to slow the digestion of it, I seem to get quite itchy. Then I think we got to sort of the Friday, I started getting a bit fed up, and it was kind of around my period. So I've even put comments here, ate chocolate, feeling fed up, and I was feeling bloody fed up. And my skin started getting worse or the same that week. And continuing on to the next week. This week it got bad. It got really bad. So again, I think I was very stressed that week. I had a big presentation with work on the Wednesday. I've also just started a new role, a new job, so that was kind of a stressful week for me. Stress is like the absolute killer for your skin. I try to control it, but it's the one thing I find it's quite difficult to control, because if you have a presentation, like, you know, you're gonna feel stressed about it. Like, I don't know what else to say. I don't know what to do about that. As you can see as well, I had a few days here again as well. When I was stressed, I was like, oh, I need more chocolate. I don't know what it is. I just freaking love chocolate. I need to find some like proper healthy alternatives to chocolate. But anyway, here we go. And then also what we've got here is this week I started exercising hard, because I was like, do you know what? I got to look after myself. So I can't be sitting around just doing nothing all day, every day. I kind of realized, right, we're in this for the long haul. So I started exercising a lot. And again, I've talked about this before. I think exercise is not that good for your skin. It's weird. Like, obviously I still do it because you have to do exercise. It's so good for you in lots of ways. Exercise, especially when it's like hard exercise, I like doing sort of like HIIT workouts. I like doing things that are very cardio intensive. And especially if I don't eat enough, or if I don't eat enough carbohydrate, for some reason, that creates a lot of stress, a lot of cortisol in my body, and that definitely impacts my skin. And it was funny because when I first even started this healing journey, I was really like, no, I have to exercise every day, because I was made to believe that like exercise like gets out these like toxins that are causing your eczema. By the way, that is absolute bullcrap. So if anyone ever talks about toxins and eczema, then run a mile. Having said that though, of course, I do still exercise. I kind of weigh up that decision in my head. I think that the benefits of exercising outweigh having a little bit of eczema here and there, especially in a time like this when we're all kind of sitting indoors. So that's just the decision I make for myself. But then having said that, I am actually quite careful about the type of exercise I do, and do make sure that I don't necessarily do like a really hard HIIT workout just before bed, which perhaps like raises cortisol levels in your skin, things like that. I do a lot of yoga, and another thing that I do is I always have a cool shower pretty much straight afterwards, because I find also that the sweat can sometimes make you a little bit itchy, especially sort of on my neck and places like that. Okay, and then we've got this last week here. So I've been doing some exercise, some not, and my skin was getting really, really itchy at the beginning of the week, especially my hand. I had a lot of dishydrotic eczema. There's another word for it, like pomphalics, something like that. I'll put it up somewhere on the screen. Basically, when you get loads of little bubbles all over your skin, and it was super, super itchy. So when you scratch it up, you get this kind of like clear liquid that comes out. Like I said, like I showed you at the beginning of the video. Today, it's actually feeling a lot better because it's a bit scabbed over. It's not as itchy and inflamed anymore, but obviously now just the skin needs to heal. It's good to see that, you know, there are things here that are quite obvious. The things I've noticed mostly are the fact that, like I said before, exercise and the type of exercise I do does seem to make it a little bit worse. Anything that raises my blood sugar, so whether that's chocolate or whether that's loads of fruit, it doesn't really matter, because it's just the raising of the blood sugar that seems to create, again, a sort of a stress environment in your body, and that's why it tends to cause a bit of eczema. Obviously, at the moment as well, I'm not getting much sunshine at all, so I can't then counteract the sort of the internal inflammation or stress levels that I seem to be getting. Those are the kind of things that I've been doing. But then having said that, obviously the skin on my face has gotten so much better. It's kind of going up and in ups and downs and in waves, but that I think is quite normal. I think that is what happens with your skin. If you're finding that it's been really good for a while and then all of a sudden it goes back to not being so good, that's perfectly normal. Just keep at it, keep being consistent. Obviously, do make a note if there is anything that you realize that definitely does make your skin a lot worse, then just make a note of that. It's not a one-size-fits-all model. That's why sometimes you do have to have a little bit of judgment. You have to have a bit of intuition, or skin tuition as I like to call it, when it comes to the things that are impacting your own skin. Like I said, what works for one person doesn't necessarily work for another person, but there are some general things which I do think work for most people, which is, of course, you need to stick to a mostly plant-based diet. I have a sort of a plant-based diet for the most part. I do add a little bit of meat here and there, very occasionally, not very often, and it's mostly fish. And then obviously no alcohol, no coffee, no sugar. So now I'm gonna make myself some lunch. So I'll show you guys kind of roughly what I've been having when I've been here. Then I'm also gonna talk about 3 things that I've been doing, which isn't in my spreadsheet here, which I think have really made a difference in my skin to make it improve. And these aren't things that I normally talk about or things that I've done necessarily before. These are just things that while I'm here and in lockdown, these are just things that I've been doing kind of to experiment. Let's have some lunch first, and then we'll talk about those 3 things afterwards. This meal is quite typical of the things I have been having recently. So I've been having a lot of chickpeas, firstly because I think it's really good source of plant-based protein. Secondly, they keep me full for a long time. There's also lots of added minerals and vitamins and things like that. And they're freaking delicious here in Dubai. I don't know what it is. They come from somewhere which is obviously very different from where they come from in the UK. I've also got some like fresh veg here. Today I'm making kind of more of a salad, but sometimes I do make it into a wrap. And I've been using this bread, which is like a protein bread, which I'd never seen before, but it's great. I've got quite a lot of tomato here, and I know a lot of people do comment and they say, yeah, but I'm really bad with tomatoes. And if I'm honest, like actually, yes, sometimes if I have too much tomato sauce, that isn't great for my skin. But if I have just like a little bit and a few tomatoes here and there, that's generally fine for me. Obviously, if you aren't good with tomatoes, don't have them. And then of course, greenery, cucumbers. So now that I finished my lunch, I just want to tell you guys about the 3 additional things that I've been doing on top of looking after my diet and the usual things that I do, which I think have made a massive difference to my skin. The first thing is I have started taking a iron supplement. Now, iron is something that I've never been like deficient, but I've always been on kind of like the lower end of normal. I haven't had them tested for a while, but you know, I am somebody who has skin problems, and I suffered from hair loss not too long ago, and I also followed like a largely plant-based diet. So getting some iron in is super important. So I take this now once in the morning, once in the evening. It's really important not to take iron together with caffeine, because caffeine is an inhibitor. So I never drink it with tea. I always wait a few hours either side before I actually have that. I actually feel like that does seem to make a difference. I'm also interested to see if it makes a difference in my hair. So that's kind of the first thing I've been doing. Secondly, speaking of hair, I have actually stopped using conventional shampoo. I know, you don't believe me. It looks super clean. So I have been washing it, but I haven't been washing it with shampoo. Maybe I should do a hair video next week. Leave a comment if you want to see that. Tell you guys what I've been doing instead to keep it looking so fresh and so clean without, yeah, using shampoo conditioners. I don't know if it necessarily has made a huge difference, but it is just something that I have been doing. I've been experimenting with while I've been here, and at the same time my skin has been getting better. And I can go into more details about my no shampooing experience since I got here. If you are new here, remember to like this video and subscribe so you can see that. And the third thing that I want to show you is, this was kind of a bit of an accident that I even started using this. So I've been started using this whipped shea butter, which looks like this. I got it because I actually ordered some things from this place called the Nature Lab here in Dubai. It's one of those shops that has like loads of like powders and amazing natural things. Obviously I found it immediately. I've been sort of chatting with the woman who owns the business, and she sent along with her, with the things that I ordered, just this little tester of shea butter, because apparently it's a bestseller. She obviously, I think she might have seen some of my videos and seen that I have skin problems and things like that. I always get super nervous about using different oils on my eczema. The only things I ever really use are jojoba oil and rose oil. Those seem to be okay, but rose oil, even sometimes rose oil can be a little bit strong. But this, oh my goodness, is so nice. So I've started using it the past 2 days, and I can really see that my hand and my finger in particular has a big difference already. It's thick enough that you can use it on your lip, on your eyes a little bit as well. I use some, and it doesn't itch me. It feels really nice. It's quite thick. I'm sold. Like, this is great. I love this. So yeah, if you haven't ever tried shea butter, whipped shea butter, this is specifically pure, raw and organic, of course. I think that you should definitely give that a go, see if it works for you. Somebody did actually send me a message about it once, and I kind of dismissed it because I was like, oh, another oil. Like, I've had really bad experiences with coconut oil, for example, and everyone was always recommending me that. So after that I was just like, oh no, like I don't want to use any of these like kind of like harsh nut oils. But this has been great, is the point. Okay, anyway, I'm rambling. Yeah, so that was kind of my update. I will finish off the video by show you guys what I have for dinner, because me and Charlie are having a virtual date tonight. I know, we're so cute. I will end up getting, oh, I know exactly what I'm gonna get. I'm gonna get sushi, definitely sushi. So here I am, all dressed up as if I'm going on an actual date, but no, virtual date. I'll show you the setup. This is what my date looks like tonight. That'll be fun. What is life right now? So weird. But yeah, I've ordered some sushi, so as soon as that comes, I'll give you a shot of that. And then other than that, I think that kind of concludes this video. So if you did like the video, please give it a like, and I hope you guys are keeping safe and well out there. And I will see you again very soon for another one. Bye.